What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is the last video before the Great Smoky Mountain Jeep invasion, and that means it's the last time I get to mod the JL before we hit the road. And as you guys can see, we're missing a little something. Those old plastic fenders I was telling you about, they're gone. And we're replacing them with some new plastic fenders. Well, not exactly plastic. These are the poly fenders from a company called KBD body kits. I had these fenders on my JK without the fancy little light, but we ended up switching out those for a couple different sets after a little while. But I always loved the look, and I always thought that the look would look really good on here. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to do a quick install on the KBD poly fenders for this thing, and I'm going to take you guys along with me. All right, guys, so another part besides the look that I chose the KBDs for is because the install on these things was literally the easiest fender install I ever did on the Jake. Now I'm hoping that it's the same for the JL, and I opened the box and it's got all the same parts, so I'm pretty sure it's the same. And as far as the parts goes, well, you got the fenders themselves, then you have a bag of screws and a bag of plastic nutserts. All I've got to do is run through, pop some plastic nutserts into all of these holes, throw the fender on, take some screws, and done deal. Let's see if it's actually as easy as I remember it. So one of the coolest parts about the KBD fenders that I really liked when I had them on the JK is that you can literally like bend them in half and fold them, and they'll just pop right back to their normal shape. I don't know of any other fenders besides maybe MCE that are gonna do that, and these look way better than those in my opinion. So I'm gonna go ahead and figure out exactly which one of these holes we're gonna put all these nutserts in, and we're just gonna breeze through it. These little guys are the secret behind the whole thing. It's really just a little pop-in little plastic nutsert, and this is gonna make it super easy to install and remove the fenders if you ever need to do that in the future. So I can tell you from experience, having something to push the nutsert in will make this a little bit easier. So for that, I'm just gonna use a screwdriver. Once we have all the nutserts in place, all we do from there is toss the fender up, grab some screws, and glue this thing on. That looks pretty sick. That looks a million times better than the old setup. And luckily the turn signal comes with a harness, so it should be plug and play. And as for your wiring, this is going to be where we'll unplug, and that's simply pulling out the red tab that I broke off, pushing down, and that should unplug there for the new wire to plug right in theory. Worked really well. And who cares if I broke off that red tab, because this one comes with a new red tab. So that'll snap into place. We'll tuck this little guy back up here into its home. And for what it's worth, the two wires sticking off here are left there so that you can add in an inline resistor, which will keep you from having any hyper flash in your turn signal. And I'll get to that but we don't have time. We gotta get this show on the road. So I'm gonna take all of this wiring for that turn signal, zip tie it up out of the way, tuck it in, make sure that we're all good to go. And I guess now's as good of time as any to hit that turn signal and see what we got. And as you can see, there she is. Handy dandy turn signal. Our old signal is no longer going to be in use, but it is zip tied and strapped all in there. So I'm just going to remove the bulb and tuck the socket back inside. And yeah, you don't have to take off the grill. I was troubleshooting, so yeah, don't do that. And for the rear, it's basically the exact same process, but there's no lights to fumble with. So I'm just gonna hammer this out. The rear are on. We're definitely gonna have to do something about this step now because that doesn't look great. But these fenders are super narrow and I really love the shape. I don't know if you're supposed to use power tools for this because I feel like maybe you shouldn't, but you got time to waste. You can be sitting here hand turning a wrench. Looks good to me. It actually was going together so easy that I had the wife come out and do the last one. So here's a quick clip of that. But there we go. They're all done. I did go ahead and hit these little tabs with a little black paint. They're actually red, their body color, of course. So is all the rest of the tabs under here. I don't really love how that looks. So I may come in and just black out this entire bar under there, but I'll have to pull off the grill to do that. And I probably should have done that before I put the fenders on. But nevertheless, this is it. This is how they turned out. And I think they look pretty rad. Let's turn on the lights and see how those look. And there are the side marker lights. Of course, you guys saw the turn signals earlier. So the turn signals are amber, the side markers are white. And from the front, it's a pretty mean look. I love it. I love how much more tires exposed compared to the last set. And these things are bright. So what do you guys think? For about 400 bucks or so after shipping, these fenders I think might just be the best looking deal on the market. You guys know that I love my Nemesis fenders on the JK, but it's just hard to beat these for the price, and they'll take a beating and just fold right back up. With that said, however, that is going to take us to the end of this video. I know that that was a quick install. I probably said that like 100 times already, but this was the last thing that I was going to have time to do before the show. Don't forget, if you're at the show, come and see us. We'll have the wife's JL in the Canati booth, as well as we'll just kind of be out and about. So if you see that or that, stop us, say what's up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Yeah, so it's the end of the video. and I'm throwing away the box that these fenders came in, and I just found a bunch of washers that were supposed to go on every single screw on this fender. So yeah, don't forget to put your washers on.